Hey guys, it's Cassie and today I'm going to be talking about buying your first designer bag. Tips, how to make sure that you are happy with your decision and the bag that you end up going with. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie, I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're probably going to love it here, so head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Guys, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so buying your first designer bag, this is very exciting, okay? But it can also be quite daunting or intimidating. There's so much choice. How do you make sure that you make the right decision? There's so many videos and people on the internet, like me, telling you which bags you shouldn't buy, which bags you should buy, and all of that, right? So hopefully in today's video, I'm going to be going through some things that you should think about to make sure that whatever bag you end up going with, you end up super happy with that decision. And in general, these are tips that are quite helpful for starting your luxury collection, or even if this isn't your first bag. First thing to consider, versatility within your lifestyle. I am a firm believer that your first designer bag should be a girl that can do both. Whether that is day to night, whether that is a bag that you can take to work and that's work appropriate, but you can also take to drinks out with the gals after. What you don't want to do is end up going with a bag that really limits you. So for example, it ends up being quite a formal bag that only really works for like a dinner or an evening situation kind of thing. So you really need to scrutinize this within your lifestyle, okay? Whatever makes sense for you. So for example, if somebody is recommending the Prada Re-Edition 2000 bag. Great bag, I love this bag, but you need to keep in mind that it has kind of a casual vibe. You could dress her up, but she leans more to being more of a casual vibe, especially in the nylon fabric, so take that into account as well. But ask yourself these questions, because what you don't want to do is commit, you end up handing over the money for the bag, and you never really thought about the different ways to wear and the different occasions that that bag suits, you know? So scrutinize yourself. I have an example here of a bag that I think carries a lot of versatility, and that is the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessoire. Purely because of all of the different ways that you can wear this bag, the versatility is there. First up, she's very casual, right? She can do all of the day-to-day business that you want to get done. Or you could take this little pouch off, have it with the chain there, and guess what? You got more of an evening vibe kind of thing. But I just want to give you an example of things that you could be looking for that give you a little bit extra so that you're really kind of getting your money's worth, you know? We want to get that cost per wear down. Tip number 2, you need to think about your fabrics, okay? Once again, I'm going to go on the assumption here that for most people's first designer bag, you need her to be hard wearing, okay? You need her to be able to handle the stress and the strain of an everyday or a most days situation, right? Okay, in which case, you probably want to go down more of the leather or the coated canvas route, okay? Then within the leathers, you've got different options. Smooth leather. Different brands have different kind of like levels of smoothness, right? So you've got like a Chanel lambskin that tends to be quite delicate or more on the delicate side, as against the caviar leather, which is more hard wearing. I've had this wallet on chain for many, many years now. Not a single wear and tear or anything, right? That's the caviar leather for you. Then you've got something like the Louis Vuitton coated canvas, which you can run over and looks exactly the same as the day you bought it. But there's the consideration of vachetta. Like, there's so many considerations within fabrics, and a lot of people tend not to want a lot of vachetta leather on their pieces because they age, or you have to think about watermarks and things like this. Is that something that you care about? If not, and you like coated canvas, maybe you want to go down that route. Maybe you like coated canvas, but you don't like the vachetta, so maybe you want to go down the damier ebene canvas route kind of thing. There are so many options, but one thing is that you probably don't want to go down a fabric like an uncoated canvas. So first of all, the Fendi Baguette as a first designer bag is actually a glorious, glorious winner in the leather. This is very delicate, okay? I know that there are certain days that I wouldn't take this bag out, right? Because of the weather. The weather is another thing that you need to consider with fabrics. Are you somewhere that rains a lot, for example, and there might be situations where your bag can get a little bit rained on? That's something you need to think about. What you don't want to do with your first designer bag is be so stressed about it. You want to enjoy her, you don't want to overthink, so stay away. I would suggest you stay away from canvas kind of fabrics. Next thing to consider is the size. This one seems obvious, okay? But I think that it can be very easy, again, with things that people suggest, that you just kind of take it as, oh, yeah, well, that's a really great bag, and you don't think about how that size works for you and your lifestyle. Do you need something bigger? Do you need, actually, no, you don't want that extra room, you want to go for something smaller. Another way that you can kind of get influenced into buying something that doesn't really end up working out for you that well is the price difference in between sizes. For example, let's take the ever infamous Louis Vuitton Never Full. There's £50 in between each size of this bag, right? So from the PM, £50 to the MM, £50 for the GM, right? So when you're looking at it, you're going to be like, well, I might as well get the big one because, you know, it's better value for money. You know, it's not much more expensive than the middle size, which I was thinking about, or something like that, right? When in reality, you might end up using this less because it's a size that doesn't necessarily work for your lifestyle. So do you not get swindled by the price difference in sizes? Stick to the size that works for you. Consideration number 4, colour. Okay, colour transfer, let's not forget it. Again, this depends on your wardrobe, this depends on your lifestyle, this depends on what you like. Lighter colours, if you're going to have a crossbody bag and wear it with jeans, the dye from the jeans over time will transfer on the back of the bag, right? And then that's just like a whole situation, it doesn't look great, whatever, okay? But then the other consideration within colour is what colour is going to work for your wardrobe, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be your neutrals, right? Which tends to be what a lot of people buy for their first designer bag, and obviously, like, that's a great way to go. You know, it's going to go with everything. But that's provided that you have a wardrobe that suits that. Maybe you have an all pink wardrobe. I don't know your life, right? And maybe your first bag being a pink designer bag works for you. So think about how you're going to get the most use out of this bag with your outfits and what colour is going to work with that. Consideration number 5. Strap options. This is another one that kind of ties into versatility, but I don't think a lot of people think about. So, again, I'm going to use the Fendi baguette as an example here because she really has the options. A lot of questions that you need to ask here. How many straps are there? Here we have a top handle, and the baguette also comes with a longer crossbody strap, right? So then you need to know, how long is the crossbody strap? Where is that going to hit me on the body? Am I happy with that? Do I have the ability to double up if it's a chain strap, something like that, right? You want to know if it's adjustable, you want to know if it's detachable, and then on top of that, are there other strap options available? So let's say you buy the bag, you love it, but you want to change her up a bit. You want to change up her vibe. Maybe instead of buying another completely new bag, maybe you want to have the option to just buy a new strap and give her a little fall-winter moment as opposed to a spring-summer. I don't know, but it's great to know if you have those options available to you. The next thing to consider is obviously your budget, okay? So everyone works with a different budget, but I think a lot of people pigeonhole themselves based on assumptions they may have about particular brands, okay? And if you're doing that, I just want you to challenge yourself into looking at brands that you would have previously ruled out, because there might be options in there that you hadn't considered. As an example, you might say, I can't afford a Chanel bag, right? Well, fair enough. You may not be able to afford a Chanel bag from the store, but you may be able to afford it pre-loved. But you may be able to buy a brand new bag, but it's a seasonal piece, that kind of thing. Let's take a brand like Louis Vuitton. A lot of people's first bags happen to be Louis Vuitton bags, but there are so many bags that Louis Vuitton do, outside of the ones that we all know and love, that are absolutely buried in their website, and all it takes is a little click on view all handbags and have a trawl through, and you might find something in there that you love, that you weren't aware of before, and that's within your budget, okay? Challenge yourself. Don't just rule things out because of assumptions you may have. And my final tip, which may be ruled as, you know, like a fluffy tip, is the most important one, in my opinion. Regardless of what I've said today, the most important thing when buying your first designer bag is that you are obsessed with it, okay? So even if it is an all fabric bag that makes no sense for your lifestyle, or has one strap option and X, Y, and Z, if you're obsessed with it and you're going to wear that thing to the grave, then fair enough, go for it. Because the most important thing is that you are obsessed with that bag. And if you just look at that bag and it sets your heart on fire, then nothing else matters, to be very honest with you. So guys, there you go. Let me know what you thought of my tips. I'm going to leave a link to another video here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.